Hello, Cardinals fans. Welcome to the Redbird Rundown. I'm Matt, joined today by Andy and Jonathan. And in this episode, we will discuss the key moments from the games this past week, suggest what to watch for in next week's action, and tackle a couple of big things that have come up in the news. The Lin-Mauel Miranda brothers movie, discuss Flirting with 500, and pick a player and pitcher of the month for April. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Doing all right.
It's going. Yep.
Yep.
It's going.
We are recording and posting this on May the 4th. So for all the Star Wars heads out there, May the 4th be with you. Yes. Just really we got to be careful with the pronunciation guide on that. And the way I want to start today is, and this may just lose us half of our listeners right away. I don't know what the Venn diagram between Cardinals fans and Star Wars fans is out there, but this is what I'm going to assume. Cardinals fans are good and they're smart, and so they understand what it is for good storytelling to happen. I'm going to assume most Cardinals fans are Star Wars fans. You guys think I'm off?
I would like to believe that. Yes, I would like to.
I'm going with that. Yeah,
okay.
I feel like I think Star Wars is mainstream enough, right?
Okay, I'm just assuming it's the Cubs fans or the Trekkies out there, you know?
Yes, I think you're right.
Both.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so on May the 4th, here's what I want. I want your top 3 Star Wars movies. Off the air just a couple minutes ago, we were debating whether or not this would be movies or properties. We landed on movies because those are the big headliners, but there have been some good TV shows that are Star Wars and some not so good TV shows that are Star Wars released recently. So we are going to stick with movies. Andy, your top 3 Star Wars movies and whatever.
Can we just do 3? Can we do around the horn?
Like third place, second place, first place? Yeah, let's do that. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. My third place bronze medal goes to the Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is the first movie we see Rey.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Rogue One.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
A Star Wars story. Just figure you get the whole name in there.
My number 3 is Revenge of the Sith. Dang. I just went to the local AMC movie theater that we have here in town. That the roof leaks and no recline seatings, and hurt my back to watch it with my daughters. But the ultimate story of Anakin falling, I can see the holes in the movie, but I do enjoy it still. Andy,
have you ever read the book that is supposed to be Revenge of the Sith, like the actual book?
I have not. I have not read too many Star Wars books. I probably should, honestly.
Yeah, because the whininess that Hayden was instructed to give as Anakin isn't happen in the book. Like it's like, oh, that makes way more sense of what's happening here.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
They did Anakin some justice in that book.
Not to just slander somebody off the top of the pod, but I think if they replace Hayden Christensen with a better actor, that whole first prequel, well, not number 1, but 2 and 3 would have been much better.
Yeah, I mean, George was definitely given. Yeah, it's tough because George was definitely given a lot of that direction of like, do this, do that, and I don't know how much if George was losing his touch there. Revenge of the Sith is my close 4 behind Rey, so it hurt me. So just FYI.
Sure.
So hold on to your horses. For me personally. Yeah.
Attack of the Clones. Here comes
Attack of the Clones.
Wow. Hey, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Well, here it is. Okay, when that movie came out. Okay,
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
Well, it was like those weird feels as a teenage boy, and Natalie Portman in that outfit.
Padme's smoking.
Okay.
That is it for me.
That's a dime. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, so you're talking like, shirt
the right
ripped
age
on the top of the post.
I was the right age. Yeah. It was.
Right.
Yeah. I like that whole scene. They're in the arena and the dude's like,
yeah.
Like I like all those guys.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
We used to that's so funny. We used to talk like that in college, and I don't know why people would look at us, like what's wrong with you? It's like you just don't get it, okay? Are you a Geonosian? So you just don't get it.
Yeah.
Wow. The computer science department just going crazy.
Yep. Throwing CDs at each other and doing that. Yeah, okay. My number 2 is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Classic.
That's a good one.
Love it. When I think Star Wars, I think of The Empire Strikes Back. Yep.
Okay. This is a big fat hot take for me. None of episode 4, 5, or 6 are going to crack my top 3.
No,
Not that
I knew
enjoy
it.
them. Yeah.
I knew what you were going to say, Matt. Andy, I had no clue what yours was going to be.
Too slow. See you later.
Absolutely none.
Number 2 for me is Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
I love
Good
it.
choice.
I enjoy it. Just quick side shout out to Andor here, the television show, which is just continues to be a masterpiece.
Yep.
I even like it that they're releasing it in the 3-episode like little mini binges that they are. I usually don't like that. I prefer it like week by week, but there's little arcs that kind of reminds me of like Clone Wars arcs from the cartoon. So
yes.
really enjoy that. Great series. Andy, your number 1.
I'm gonna go with the OG. We go number 4, The New
Hope.
Oh,
okay.
Why do you say that? I'm really curious. Why?
Where it all started, and
just okay.
That's the most that I've rewatched, especially because my kids they don't I've introduced it, but they don't remember, and so I've seen it enough times to where I'm like I can appreciate this, and so much just points back to that movie and all the things that they've written around the universe starts there. So that's why I'm picking the OG.
So yours is 4-2-3. No, 4-2 Rogue One. No, 4-2-7.
Oh yes. 4 is number 1, 2 is number 2, 7 is number 3.
Everyone listening to this right now in their car just had a car accident.
Yeah, they knew it. They were following. It was very clear. It was super clear. Yeah. Okay. Number 1, Return of the Jedi. As you can see.
Oh, right behind him.
Right behind me. One. I love Endor. Not Andor. I love Andor. I love Endor too. Just love Luke's green lightsaber. I love all that. I love the Empire Strikes Back into Return of the Jedi. I just like the original ones. I really love them. I really do. Matt, number 1.
My number 1 is The Last Jedi, Episode 8.
Wow.
I like the Luke,
that is a tough call for me.
No, I really like that one. I like the Rey Kylo connection. I like that Rey was nobody. I love that throne room fight scene, like the red background. Really enjoy that one. Like the themes of that, like Luke being disenfranchised. Like I really like all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't hate on it. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't select that as their number 1, like Star Wars in general. So it was just I don't know, like
hodgepodge.
Yeah. But the scenes, the graphics, the visuals of those movies are all just insane.
Favorite Star Wars property period is Knights of the Old Republic, the video game. Yeah, Andy, I think you're getting ready to shout out.
I mean that for sure, 100%. I have like 250 hours between those 2 games on my Steam account, so I definitely agree with that. Good. I think the one that I enjoy the most, though, from all aspects of gameplay and lore, is Cal Kestis and the Fallen Order and the Jedi Survivor.
Ones.
Yeah, the newer ones. I really enjoy those.
Those are well done. Those are like
they're really well done. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listeners, check for our Star Wars podcast down the line. Who knows? Who knows what's coming?
Do that for sure. In the future. I would not be the casual fan of that one.
No.
Oh boy, let's get back to the birds. So. Yep. Here's the deal. They had a 3-4 record since we recorded and posted. And those were a game 2 and game 3 of the Brewer series. So we'll kick it back to there. Game 2, the offense got 5 quick runs. Helsley blew a save, and Arenado had the huge walk-off. The 6-5 win. Game 3 was a loss. Fetty got smoked, surrendered 7, and the offense kind of went to sleep, and we lost 7-1. We then went to Cincinnati for a 4-game set, which honestly scared me a little bit. However, it ended up okay on the road. Game 1 was a loss. Palante gave up 6 over 3 innings, and what's becoming kind of a pattern for him. And the offense was again silent. It was a 2-hour and 10-minute game. We lost 3-1. Game 2, Miles Michaelis throws 5.1 scoreless innings. The bullpen holds it. The offense hit 4 taters for a 6-0 win, followed up by a 9-1 win that evening in a day-night doubleheader. They had a rookie going, and we scored 9 runs, jumped all over him. Mats and Graceffo shut them down.
Just real quick side note, did you see that reliever that gave up those home runs, they demoted him?
Yeah, Edwin Diaz. Yeah. When you give up 3 home runs in a row to us, you sit down to the AAA.
Game 4 was weird. Libby started. It wasn't a bad start, but it was a rain shortened start. The bullpen after the rain shortedness just completely imploded. We lost 9-1. And then we came home from this Met series. Sonny Gray had a bad start, and we lost 9-3. We are currently, as we are recording right now, live. It's in the bottom of the 7th. We are up 6-3 on the Mets with a game this evening for the double header. So, gentlemen, you know what's coming next. Give me your vibe check. 5 words or less vibe check from the St. Louis Cardinals from this past week. Jonathan, go ahead first.
Enjoying the little things. That's my vibe check. I'm not focusing on winning and losing. I was about to be frustrated if the Mets came to town and smoked us. And then I thought, why does it even matter? This isn't going to be a playoff team. So let's just enjoy the little things. Mason Wynn is starting to perform better on the offensive side of the ball. He's really coming around from his 100 at the beginning of the year, right? He's performing well. Willie's looking a lot better. He's making a lot of hard contact. So I'm just trying to enjoy the little things and not get too worried about wins and losses.
Okay. Andy, vibe check?
frivolous, as in the current state from the casual fan is the Cardinals are playing. What are we doing? So it's frivolous, as in what is even happening? I might, they're okay. They're not, because people just gonna be like, oh yeah, they're really bad, or oh man, have you seen the Cardinals are really good? Right now, it's like they're in this weird in between, and what's happening? So people, I feel like, kind of lose interest for whatever reason with the lukewarm. Maybe that's why God spews it out of his mouth.
So this is not Padme Amidala on Geonosis. This is something else.
Definitely not.
No. This is like Count Dooku close-up shot. It's like, we love Christopher. What's his name?
Oh no, man. You just did it to us. This is so bad.
I did it. You know what I'm talking about, right? All right.
Text on it.
It's Sauron. That's who it is.
Yeah. Andy's looking it up right now. Christopher Lee. Yes.
Okay,
R.I.P. R.I.P. My vibe check is settling in. I had high hopes at the beginning, and we've talked about this, so I'll be brief here. I kind of think this is what it's going to be. Yeah. And I love so much the way Andy put it last week when he kind of called us the woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's so beautiful because we are competitive. There are things to watch. Now, some of these games are like, 9-3. That's not super fun to watch. But this team week in and week out is giving reasons to tune in. It's fun enough, but I kind of think this is what we are, right? 3 and 4 every week. That's kind of it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. It's just so meh. Everything is so meh. We're all right. But
yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, and when you put it in this, right, you can get upset as a fan if you're not careful when you're the woulda, coulda, shouldas. But I think that Jonathan has pointed, and you as well, Matt, just pointed to the fact that what is this season about is about growth. And if you keep the woulda, coulda, shouldas in line with that, then it keeps you from being upset. Because if let's go to the NBA, if it's the Lakers and it's like the Lakers fan base is upset right now because the Lakers were supposed to do well and they're out of the playoffs in the first round. So they coulda, woulda, shoulda their way into anger. And we need to keep it aligned with, well, what is the purpose of this season? What are we doing? What's the goal of the outcome? We need to see if Gorman's real for a whole season. I already see people chirping on Reddit about Gorman. And it's just like, guys, we got to keep this in the forefront of our minds that
leave him there.
Keep him in there. And if he is not the real deal, then Heim will bloom him out, and that's fine. But I
mean, the way I look at it too, Andy, to bounce off of that is like, I keep looking at the standings from like a wild card perspective, and again, there's 7 or 8 teams that are better.
I never check.
I know just from this exercise, like there are 8 teams better than us, and I know baseball's crazy and anything can happen, but it's like, what am I going to get upset if we're not going to making a playoff push? That's not the goal here. Like they signed no one. So anyway, we'll get into that, but it's just, I agree with you. I'm not going to live and die on if we lose 9-1 to the Mets, the $500 million.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Well, put a pin in this conversation because we are certainly going to return to these themes as we talk about this Cardinals team batting its eyelashes kind of at a 500 record and see what we think about that. I think we should start here first with some more entertainment news. So it has come out in the last week or so that Lin-Mauel Miranda, who is the writer of Hamilton, In the Heights, some of the songs behind Moana and Encanto, just kind of I think it's hard to call him anything but like a genius musician and lyricist. Like it's just crazy what this guy pumps out. Evidently is looking into his next project being a film of all things about the Molina brothers.
I can't believe it.
It's crazy. So let me just before I looked up a little bit of background and we can kind of talk about it. Let me just that is a sentence that I said out loud that is a real thing. Andy, just react to Lin-Mauel Miranda writing a Molina brothers film.
Right? I mean, the only thing when you read why he's doing it, you're like, oh, that's the connection. They're from his hometown.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. But if out of that context, you're like, what? Like what?
Yes.
Moana 3 is going to be the Molina Moana. Like what?
Like when I think of Yadi or Molina, I think of the songs from Encanto. That's what I think of. It's like, but this, okay. So I was thinking about this. Do you think this is Lin-Mauel trying to use his clout now, like you said, Andy, to kind of bring some more, because it's in Puerto Rico, to bring more like Puerto Rican actors, and like it's probably not going to be like a musical, but maybe just using his fame and his, I don't know, his whatever, just his clout to create something like that and maybe stop doing just the musicals. Maybe he just wants to do something else. I don't know. Unless this is a musical, it's going to be hilarious.
That's a quote I read of his, is that he would like there to be some more openings for some, Hispanic actors and performers to be. Yeah. But I 1000% disagree with you. I think this is going to be a musical. I think that's what he does. There are going to be songs in this.
Really good. Yeah.
And, yes, he is. Now, for the listeners out there, you may, I don't know, Hamilton or whatever, like that may not exactly be your speed. But again, it's so hard to poke holes in his game as a rhymer and a skit. Like, it's just crazy, some of the stuff that he pumps out. But I'm just wondering, like, are we getting like a Yadi or Molina threw a guy out at second base, and there's going to be like a Yadi? Oh my God! If like Yadi sings somebody's song,
yeah.
But like, is Cardinals lore forever going to be changed? Because they would tweet things, the account would tweet things like Yadi or mind, for running on him at second base.
Yeah.
If Lin-Mauel Miranda writes some brilliant lyrics to Yadi throwing guys out, we may just change the Cardinals franchise here.
Good.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about integration of like. The Cardinals are 100% a part of this.
Yes.
It would be probably about their come up in Puerto Rico, right?
I'm sure.
But there's going to be like a tie where they make it, and it's like you're at the stage. The Cardinals are going to be in that. Like, there's no question. That's all he played for.
I mean, Yadier is yeah. I think you're right. I think it probably is going to be like a coming of age, that kind of thing. It's going to focus on Puerto Rico. But Yadi is by far the most professionally successful of the three brothers, even though the other two have World Series titles. But I mean, Yadi's going into the Hall of Fame. The other guys are not. And I just got to think that Yadi's probably going to be the main focus of this film, I would think.
I mean, that's interesting because when I think there are definitely moments, Lin-Mauel Miranda's music has definitely changed my perspective on several things. Like when people say certain tidbits that are in a Hamilton soundtrack, I literally start like, if anyone says, "Can I just be real a second?" or something like that, I just think of that song.
Yeah, I know.
The venerated general from Mount Vernon. Like that's what I think of. Like
somebody's going home, you're like,
yeah.
You're just
So you're right. It really could. If there's like some type of hook that like is inside baseball or about baseball, you're not lying. He really could change how at least I consume baseball, or like people talking about it. I'll just start thinking about his song because they're so catchy.
Yeah, I think I know one of his stated reasons is to get like actors from an underrepresented part of Hollywood, or just the entertainment industry more broadly, some parts. But I think what's happening here is Lin-Mauel Miranda, and again, we'll see how much the Cardinals are in this, but he is kind of stumbling into a second underappreciated group, which is like standout athletes from the Midwest in the United States. They just don't get the kind of coverage or cultural cachet as the athletes who are on the coast do. Now, I realize we've got Michael Jordan and LeBron James that both played in the Midwest, so I totally understand that. And Albert Pujols gets his due respect. But I got to tell you, I even think Albert is like undercovered from a national perspective. I think this guy is like maybe the greatest right-handed hitter in the history of baseball. So what do you guys think about that idea generally, that he stumbled into this not really underprivileged, but undercovered group of athletes?
Yeah, that's interesting when you say that, because when I think of like a Midwest star, like you think of Patrick Mahomes, but then I don't think of it because it's football. Football's so big that he's almost like excluded from that group.
Maybe you're talking me out of my take here. Maybe
no. But that's what I'm saying though. Then I immediately think of Bobby Witt, somebody like he's a star. He signed like a $300 million contract. Nobody, if you showed a picture of Bobby Witt to somebody on the street, I don't think they'd be like, "Who's this?" They don't know. So to your point, if he gets into the sports stuff, people love sports.
Yes.
Love sports. They maybe don't love whatever Hamilton, right? They don't love that kind of the historical background. Or Into the Heights was a true just musical, right? And then you got all the Disney stuff. Sports is, massive. Could he get into something like this? I think to your point, to even extend it further, you're getting into like an untapped territory here where there's no real like movies like this. His coolness that he adds to these movies. You've never seen that from a sports perspective. Yeah.
Andy, as a Midwesterner, what are you thinking?
I mean, just look at the population difference. That's why I would say it's underappreciated. It's just like if you're a big market thing, if you're ESPN, who are you going to play to? You're going to play to the 60 million people that are apart across 5 different states, or are you going to go to the 300 million that are sitting out on the West Coast. It's just pure money. So I 100% agree with you. That's a very valid thing that you bring up. And yeah, it's untapped because we have Chicago, and that's about the only thing that the Midwest, you know what I mean? Like in terms of population,
yeah,
that's it. And so, we're just so far spread out that maybe the Redbird Nation would be the unifying thing, as it's centralized enough. And like you said, you've been to different stadiums, and people are like, "Hey, go Birds!"
You know what I mean? The reach is far. Yeah, it's kind of a stealth reach.
It's respected enough to where people would actually be like, "Oh, okay, I'll give this a shot."
Yeah. You know, something else I was thinking, it just clicked when you were talking, was I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Yadi was really into music. I'm pretty sure he owns or has some ties into some kind of record label down there. I mean, the guy's got a music note tattooed on his neck.
Yeah,
That's
he does.
Something, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
So if there's that tie, I mean, I could see how Lin-Mauel would get involved here. That's really.
I'm just telling you right now, if Yadi has a cameo and sings, Cardinal Nation is going to just pass out and die. And then they can just bring Wainwright in to, you know, just a country number just to mix things up. I'm sure Lin-Mauel Miranda can run. You know, they can call it curveball or something. Uncle Charlie, like curveball. Really, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we as Star Wars fans, just to tie these two things together, we know that sometimes projects will get announced and then canceled and then never talked about again. So we're a long way from this being on screen somewhere. But I just was like, am I really reading this right? Lin-Mauel Miranda and the Molina brothers. And anyway, it was just a hilarious note. And a family that's treasured in Cardinals Nation history. So anything that's going to be made here is definitely going to be paid attention to.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Cardinals are sitting at 14 and 19. You know, I'm doing that off the top of my. Is it okay? I really don't check the standings. I promise you. So we just got to thinking, like, the first month has closed. We're into May here. It's really too early to make just huge pronouncements about where we're headed or what this is going to be this year. But I think we can have an interesting conversation about whether or not we think the Cardinals can kind of pull it to over 500 or not, because there are moments where you watch this team and things are clicking and you're like, okay, I kind of think there's a pretty good team here. And then there's times where you watch this team and you're like, yeah, well, okay, I'm just going to go watch something else because this is horrific. So maybe that in and of itself is pointing at this 500 mantra, and can we get there? So Andy, I just want you to open it up here. What do you think about this concept generally? Do you think the Cardinals can get to 500? Will we finish over 500 with a month's worth of evidence? Where are you at now?
Yeah, no, I don't think we do. I don't think we are awful, but no. And here's why. We've had a single quote unquote major injury so far to the lineup, and that's it, right? And how many times have we texted and like, oh man, where's Yvonne? Like, we need some pop. And that's one injury that has happened. Mason had some back spasms and stuff, but that was a couple of days. It pulled up the Italian and sent him back down. I just that's what we're doing with one injury. I think realistically across this many games, I don't think that the injury bug's going to stay away. And I think that we have proven through this amount of time that if this is the best we can do without injuries, I don't see us coming up from this when the injuries start piling up.
That is an interesting point.
That's very compelling. Yeah.
About injuries is we have not seen, knock on wood, right, anything to do with our starters. And that's what scares you. Now, our starters haven't been like blasting the, anything off here. Like, they're not going anything like wild, but they've still been really consistent for us. And you're right, Andy. There is no injuries. The only thing I would add to that is if you look at our lineup right now, remove Willie and Wynn being terrible at the beginning of the year, right? Arenado's been pretty good.
Yep.
Right. Ivan, we've talked about him. He's been amazing. Donnie's been awesome. Newt's been really awesome the entire year. Vic's been a brand new player. But if you think about like Gorman, Walker, Burleson, some of these younger guys, Baker, I mean, God bless him, he doesn't really get a chance. But some of these guys, it's like, this is what our farm system has produced. And we have just overwhelming evidence that our farm system has collapsed and betrayed us over these last few years. So what I'm trying to say is we don't have the talent to push it over this. I really just don't think that we do. And you can be mad at Mo or whoever you want to, whatever you want to place blame, but that's what I have realized over these last, 4 weeks is I just don't know that we have the dudes to do this right now. Like, this is going to take a few years for us to get the guys to be really competitive again. I don't mean like super doom and gloom, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the lineup though, because this is how I was thinking about this. And I was thinking specifically about Donnie and Newt. And I was thinking like, okay, Brendan Donovan's batting third for us. He is not a prototypical third hitter in that he is missing the home run pop that you would love to have in there. And then I'm just casting about the roster and I'm like, well, that's not here. And we have to develop it. And that's one of the hardest pieces to develop in baseball.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking more about Donnie and Newt. And we've really put them in a position that's probably, honestly, a little bit too big for their britches, much as I love Newt. But I was thinking this. What if Donnie and Newt were like your 1 and 2 hitters for like the Pujols Holiday era Cardinals?
Oh,
I mean, my gosh, and so that's how I was kind of thinking of this issue and something you guys have already spoken to, which is we have some real pieces, but we don't have like the battering ram to get it home right now. And I don't know how or where that is going to come from. And I agree with you guys. I think we're probably going to come up a little bit short. I think we'll probably flirt with it. We're going to win some games for sure. But then I started thinking about a larger question here. Is getting to 500 the best thing for this team and this franchise this year? Or, Jonathan, you're already shaking your head. No, go ahead.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think if you're trying to really help the future, I just pray that like Nolan is good enough and Maton and Helsley. And I think you just have to really tear it down to the studs. If we're just like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 games under 500, why would you take Helsley into the offseason? Why would you take Maton? Why would you do it? Now, if you can't trade Arenado, I totally understand that, right? He's got a couple years left on his deal. It was hard to do it in the offseason. But those other guys...
Trading Arenado is really turning into Voldemort for this podcast.
No kidding, right? Or like Fetty, right? Why are you taking him into the offseason? Why are you doing that? It's like, if we're close, or if we're pretty far under 500, no, we need a better draft pick. Why would you not do that?
Yeah.
I don't see the reason.
Andy, is 86 wins what we need? Like, is that what we should be rooting for? 86 wins?
I'm going to steer it towards something a little bit different that I had been poking around on Fangraphs, and I want to throw some numbers at you boys. Okay. So in the top 125 as of right now, in baseball, right? So not a lot of big numbers. I mean, Aaron Judge is
this individual players?
Individual players.
Okay. All right. Okay.
In the top 125. So on average, that means if it's spread out evenly, that each one has about 4 or 5 people in the top 125, right? Okay. 125 divided by 30.
Okay.
How many in the
Is this a WAR leaderboard you're talking about?
Leaderboard,
okay. All right.
On Fangraphs. Yep. How many do the Cardinals have represented in the top 125? Just take a stab.
Well, you're leading us on makes me think it's not 4 or 5, but I would have guessed 4.
I was going to say 3.
Okay. We have 10.
Oh.
We have 10 players in the top 125. And
that's very interesting.
And this is the record. This is where we're at. And so that's tough. So there's some people on the bottom of that list got to be, because where our wins record and we're the first person on our list is Donnie, by the way.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, Libby's up there. Matt's is on there. Michaelis is on there in the top 125. Mason Wynn is. Newt is on there. Nolan's on there. And this is what we have. So that's another statistical approach rather than the injury one that I wanted to back that up with. This is what we got. And there are some pretty good players, but we're still 14 and 19. So I just don't see us getting to, or 86 may not be what this team can do for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm so split on this because on the one hand, I don't want to go through this pain of this 3, 4, 5 year stretch that we're going to go through here. And we love Chaim Bloom on this podcast, but he hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't made any major league decisions for anybody to be frustrated at. So he just kind of lives in this halo of perfectness because he hasn't messed up yet. And he's going to, right, at some point along the line. But I don't want to go through all this pain and mediocrity and get a top 7 pick and a top 5 pick if we're not going to end up with the battering ram. And so on the one hand, I think, no, getting to 500 is not the best thing for this team. We should trade our veterans. We should win, honestly, we should win 70 games and try to get a top 3 pick so we can get that guy. But on the other hand, as a fan, I don't want to watch that. And secondly, I'm kind of worried about what kind of financial ramifications that's going to have on this team, because you guys are watching these games. Busch Stadium is empty, and it's empty and scary in a way that I haven't seen it before. And so I don't want that kind of financial problem to like impact the future. So I'm really split and torn on this question, but I just don't want all this pain to be for nothing at all.
So your options are tank and go watch the Cardinals in Louisville, Kentucky. That's what you're saying.
oh boy.
The callback.
No.
Yeah, well, Andy, and you're kind of hitting on something I've been thinking about here is like, so either you tank or you try to win, but you got to pick a direction. What I don't want, and we've talked about this in episodes past, I don't want to be the Angels. I don't want to be, well, the Rockies are really bad this year, but I don't want to be like this middling franchise that doesn't have a direction. So if you're going to pick one, pick one. I just think for some of this stuff, you're going to have to look at what our record is in June. And if we're way out of contention, then I think there's no other decision than to sell off some of your veterans if you can. You have to. I don't know why you wouldn't. But I agree with you, Matt. I'm scared of this like quote rebuild, because they're saying reset right now, because a rebuild is painful. Right. I mean, like you're in the wilderness for a while, but what you've got to try to get is a star. You're saying a bopper, a masher. You have to get a star
or a Bobby Witt or yes. It doesn't have to be Pujols level. You know what I mean?
No, like imagine if the Cardinals had Gunnar Henderson or something like that. Like he's not, I mean, he was on the cover of a video game, but like he's still young and coming up. He's an all-star. And that's no slight toward Wynn or Newt or Donnie. They're all really great players, but they're not Gunnar Henderson. You know, somebody who is a legitimate star, a budding star. We just don't have that. And the draft is a great place to get that. But the other thing is, if you have this draft capital, you can trade it for Jose Ramirez, just off the top of my head, right? Sure. Somebody like that. You could trade for somebody, and then you start to bring those fans back. And fans want to see a star. They want to see somebody that they can really put their money in and be like, oh, every time he comes up, you know, he's going to do something, right?
The biggest thing this franchise needs to do right now is find the capital G guy. And I don't think that winning 86 games is the best way to do that. And so as crazy as this seems, I don't want to watch us lose. I think the better thing to happen for this franchise right now is to lose. I really do.
And you're saying just because of like the draft capital, getting a better draft pick.
We don't have the capital G guy. I don't see a capital G guy in the system. Unless somebody develops out of nowhere. Like I really look forward to Weatherholt, but I don't know that I think Weatherholt is, again, like the offensive engine of the whole thing. And I know that Ohtani's and Judges and those guys don't grow on trees. And honestly, I'm not even really talking about somebody that's going to have like a 190 WRC plus the whole year.
Yeah.
We just need somebody with like a 150, you know, and we just don't have that. And I think to Andy's point, we have a lot of good players and we have no great players. And I don't know how we're going to get great players, because the Cardinals are not going to sign great players. They're too expensive.
Yeah. I was thinking this too. Our old friend Tommy Edman has become a linchpin for the Dodgers. Like he is so important for them. I've watched a couple of their games, and I mean, this is a team with Mookie, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei, let alone all these
right now.
pitchers.
Tommy Two-Bags is.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if you switch out Tommy for Newt or Donnie, you know, they are beloved for the Dodgers, because the Dodgers have these dudes, and then you're not expecting somebody like Tommy to come in and produce the same WAR as Mookie Betts. But when they do, it's like, there's the devil magic, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is like, remember when John Jay would come up, or Alan Craig, and you're like, who are these guys? Because we don't expect them to produce, because it was Holiday. Like you said, Matt, it was
we had Pujols and Holiday. We had the guys. We had the capital G guys. The Cardinals have always been good at finding the ancillary pieces, and we still are. We've got them all over the roster.
Yeah, we do.
We've got 10 of them in the top 125. We just don't have the one.
And it's so, and we got a caveat. It's so hard to get that guy.
It is.
Yeah. It's so hard. It is. And like, think of the cheapest teams in the league, like the Guardians. They're super cheap, but they have Jose Ramirez. They have Steven Kwan, right? Those guys are like legitimate stars. They're great players, and we just do not have those. So it's not even necessarily money, is what I'm trying to say. It's not that we don't have the money. We either have to spend it or we have to find it, and we haven't done either of those recently.
Yeah. Andy, I see you cooking over there. Bring us home on this topic.
No, I was going through the individual WAR, just like what you were talking about, Matt. Just like the star power, you've nailed it. Like that's what we're missing. I mean, I was on the flip side. I'm intrigued myself there. I was flipping.
Oh,
I went to
you went to the bottom.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a lot of STL down there. Just FYI, a lot of people that we haven't liked so far, they're down there. But you guys are right. We don't. I mean, from the casual fan point of view, I've said it from the beginning. Goldie unfortunately is having a good season with the Yankees so far. And that
good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And that's just unfortunate because Goldie was like, if you went to a game or someone like they talked about Goldie, and we just have lost. We don't have that guy. Matt, you've absolutely nailed it. That we don't have anybody to rally around. Like there's no like, oh yeah, we got them. Like the casual person can't probably name 3 Cardinals players right now other than Nolan, and outside of that, good luck.
It would be a shame to go through this transition phase without taking the opportunity to try to find one, and we just have not right now. We do try to be positive where we can be on this podcast. We do love the Cardinals. We love these players. We root for all these guys. So let's finish our pod today like this. Let's pick an April player of the month and an April pitcher of the month. And Andy, I never would have guessed that we had 10 of the top 125 guys. But if you start looking around our roster, we've had a lot of good performances in April. And so let's celebrate a couple of those on our way out. I think we'll just go around the horn because we may have some overlap here. So, Jonathan, I'll have you kick us off on the player of the month and just who did you highlight?
Okay. I think this is probably, I would say everybody's or really close. It's Brendan Donovan for me.
Okay.
Here's his slash 333, 379, 491 with 144 WRC plus. He had 38 hits in the first month of the season, which was 5th in the MLB behind Aaron Judge, who has 50. And number 2 was, let alone no one else other than Paul Goldschmidt, who was capital W washed for us last year. I just want to say. Okay.
Yep.
But Donnie has been unbelievable. He has honestly saved us so many times this year and has taken a massive step ahead that I didn't think he was going to do. Now he's probably going to come back down to earth, but he has been, in my opinion, from a player perspective, one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive.
Yeah. Andy?
That's the obvious and definitely should be the winner. If there's an official one, the Andy one is going to be Vic. I, as well, like Matt, have caught a little Vic in the blood, and I do.
It don't wear off. Be careful.
Yeah, I do enjoy watching him play. I enjoy the energy. I enjoy the speed threat that he is. He's got a little of that swag. He's got some numbers to back it up. He's producing at a level. He's one of those 10 that are in the top 125. So I have enjoyed. So if we just go out of enjoyment of watching someone, I have enjoyed personally Vic the most.
I just flat picked Victor Scott II in the same way. Well, Donnie has been the best player. I'm on Newt Bar Island all day, every day. They're both wonderful. Let's get them locked up to extensions. I co-sign all of that. But Vic has been, I think a revelation is probably too strong. But when you saw what that guy was last year to what has happened this year, and in April, he had a 109 WRC plus. Last year, he had a 40, right? This year, he's already been worth 1 WAR. Last year, the entire season, he's worth 0.4 WAR. So the guy's playing
negative
4.
Negative 0.4.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I didn't see the minus sign. Yeah, negative 0.4 WAR. Yeah. The guy's playing at a 4 WAR win pace. And here's what I'm thinking more largely. The security of, we know who our center fielder now is. He would have to go through a really prolonged stretch of struggling in a way that I don't see that right now. I obviously he'll have downtimes, but I don't think we ever see overmatched middle schooler Vic like we saw last year. And the fact that we know who our center fielder is going to be for the next 4, 5, 6 years, a premium defensive position, and he's playing much better defense this year. I think just from the establishment of, we have another ancillary piece to fit around the guy, I think is Victor Scott for me.
The one thing I want to highlight about Vic that you guys have not, and this is something I pray Ollie does not do, but Vic is struggling to hit lefties a little bit. He's batting 100 points less against lefties than he is righties. I don't think it's a concern personally. I really don't. He takes competitive at bats. He doesn't look overmatched versus lefties. I just think that this is going to take time. What I don't want Ollie to do is I do not want him to start to sort of platoon him and just start him versus righty, because they brought up Barrera, who can play center field and it is a righty. Yep. I do not want them to do that. Just let him figure it out against lefties, or he's never going to. Because I think we got to protect Vic like the little egg he is here. He's great. Let's continue to grow him. He's going to be okay. But I love that one. I agree. Can I give you another? Can I give you another player that I thought was
for sure.
mentioning? Was Mason Wynn.
Sure.
Terrible at the beginning of the year. Terrible. If I told you that he finished the month with a 118 WRC plus, would you believe that? He did.
Let alone if you took March out, where he was 0 for March. Yeah.
Yes, he's been extremely good. And I thought we haven't really talked about him that much just because he has been abysmal. But I was really, really surprised when I looked at his profile. I was like, wow, he came out from the bowels of something, and he's really been solid. So.
Yeah, he has. Andy, you have always had a love for pitching. So I'm going to let you kick us off with the pitcher of the month. This may be a triple. We nominate the same guy, and there's really no other guy. But Andy, go ahead.
Libby.
Yeah.
Cosign.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's final.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Andy, with your case for Libby.
Yeah, no, I mean
that was just it. It was just
there's the pitch. Yeah,
I almost called it like a triple Molina or something. Like just bring in Lin-Mauel for us.
Lin-Mauel, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's been excellent. What else do you want from he's young. He's like one of our young guns, and he's it's exciting. Just like the same reason why I picked Vic. Those are things that we need to highlight. Those are the names that we need to keep talking about when people talk to us about Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start tossing out we might have to home grow the
next guy.
Yeah. And so we need to keep, hey, this kid is, he's doing really well. We need to talk about Libby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how that kind of happens is people talking about it. So
Jonathan, help us preach the good news of Libby.
One stat you gotta preach when you're evangelizing Libby to the masses here is he has a 0.58 walks per 9 inning, and that's all you need to know about him. His other stats, his counting numbers are wonderful. 3.9 ERA, his Ks per 9 are way up from his historical average. He doesn't walk people, and you can tell that when you see him. He doesn't get himself in trouble. Right. He doesn't. He's patient with it. He's always pounding the zone. That is not something you could say about Palante or Fetty or Sonny, right? They're a lot of our other starters that aren't Steven Matz, which is just insane to say this, right? Just constantly pound the zone and have not been as effective. These guys, they just walk people, and he doesn't. And it's honestly like a refreshing to see.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I was looking at Libby's Baseball Savant page. He is in the 82nd percentile in pitcher run value. That's just what does he bring to your team? And Baseball Savant, they've got it by cold blue, medium blue, soft red, and bright red. Yeah. Libby's on the cusp of being like a bright red pitcher on Baseball Savant with what he brings to the table. His off-speed stuff is in the 96th percentile in baseball on Baseball Savant. So his changeup is really rocking hardcore. His pull ground ball percentage is way up. His fly ball pull percentage is way down.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder, again, with Vic, I mean, is Libby going to be in the rotation going forward? Yes, without question, absolutely 1000%. But did we just stumble into and again, I really kind of hate the numbers here, but did we stumble into our ace, our number 2 pitcher, right? We're not just talking about a guy that can give us innings. Libby's on the cusp of becoming a guy that can give us quality good innings in bulk. And man, that makes a huge difference for a franchise. Very, very impressive month from Matthew Liberatore.
Yeah, from a 25-year-old.
Yes,
that
exactly.
Is what I was just going to say, Andy. He's 25.
Yep.
He's on that rookie NFL contract.
Baker, baby.
Well, as the calendar moves into May here on May the 4th, what in the next week should we be looking at? I was at the Memphis Redbirds Stadium yesterday, and we may have a story in the works about that. Ivan Herrera was the DH in that game. So I think something key to look for is Herrera going to get back? And if he gets back, is he just going to keep mashing the way he was mashing earlier?
Yep, I agree. I think we got to be patient with him a little bit, Now
Sure.
him smoking the ball in AAA is nice to see, but he's missed a month. I hope he can just stay healthy. If he gets hurt again behind the plate, I guarantee you the front office is going to make a change and he's not going to be behind the plate. I guarantee it because he's too valuable.
Yeah. Andy,
something I do. I have one. I was interested in the fact of when they sent Thomas Italian back down and making some changes. I don't think it was the same day. They brought Roycroft back up. And so I'm very interested in the Cardinals bullpen because I think that is by far the weakest link. And so Roycroft was part of that problem, kind of. He got eaten up a couple times. So I want to see some bullpen appearances by these guys that got recalled from AAA.
Yeah.
Well, when we come to you next, listeners, we are playing a 3-game set against the Pirates and a 3-game set against the Nationals. We need to stop with this 3-4 business. We need to go 4-2 against these teams. Like, these are not as good as some of the competition that we've been facing thus far. Are we going to handle our business, move it forward, and, like, win some games against bad teams?
That's exactly what I was going to say. We have talked this whole podcast, or a portion of it, that we need to lose and get a better draft pick. So why don't we try to win these games here, right? No, but seriously, these are teams that are winnable. These are winnable series. I feel like we've played the Mets 100 times. Yeah. And the Braves, I know they're not as good right now, but like, we've played teams that are really solid this year. It's about time we played the Pirates and the Nationals and like actually win these games.
Yeah. Well, guys, as always on the Redbird Rundown, we are going to be watching these games. We're going to be enjoying these games. We're going to be doing the Flappy Bird along with the boys as they have success. We do want to thank you for tuning in to the Redbird Rundown, your go-to source for St. Louis Cardinals news. Subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us grow. Follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Facebook for the latest news. Keep your rally caps on, and may the force be with you.